Good morning and welcome to After GMS. It is Tuesday, March 15th. I'm Tracy McCain here with Sydney Moore and meteorologist Ed Matthews and Christian Morgan.
Morning.
Well, good morning to all of you and hope y'all's morning is starting off great. Christian, yesterday the sun was here and today it's back again.
It is. If you liked yesterday, you're really going to like today. And in fact, we'll even do a little bit better today than we did yesterday. I think we're going to make a good run for 70 degrees this afternoon. Take a live look over downtown Greensboro this morning. It is a beautiful start out the door this morning. Most of us are right around the 40-degree mark, so it is chilly out the door this morning, but a light jacket this morning, you can shed that as we go into the afternoon. 40 in Greensboro right now, 40 in Winston-Salem too, 34 down in Asheboro, 32 in Lexington, 31 Siler City, and 34 in Burlington. Of course, on the radar, things are totally quiet and clear right now across the Triad, but zooming out on a wide view, here's our big system that is on approach to the Piedmont next, and this comes our way for tomorrow. There have been some heavy rain showers, some severe thunderstorms, and even a couple tornado warnings down in New Orleans this morning. That is not going to be what we see, but we will see some of the moisture that's left behind from this system. High pressure in control of our weather now moves away as we go into your Wednesday. So by this evening, you'll notice some clouds starting to increase a bit. And honestly, I think the morning hours on Wednesday are going to be fine. But as this system rolls through mainly Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, that's where I think we get most of our moisture from, and that could linger over into the morning hours on Thursday, and then we start to clear and dry things out again as we go into Thursday evening and Thursday afternoon for all of your St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Here's a closer look at it on Futurecast to show you how this plays out. Again, a mostly sunny day today, and we'll see the extra clouds building in as we go into this afternoon and into this evening. Then it becomes more of a partly sunny sky. Again, I think most of the morning hours tomorrow are dry, just a couple sprinkles or maybe a stray shower. The bigger push of moisture comes as we go into the afternoon and evening, and some of those rain showers could be quite heavy at times. Down east, I think there's actually a pretty significant thunderstorm risk in South Carolina and along the coast of North Carolina. All of this should come to an end, though, as we go into your Thursday morning and be gone by Thursday afternoon. As far as rain totals go, generally thinking about half of an inch, maybe a little more or a little less, just depending on where you are with this first system. And then we have another system on the way as we go into later this week on Friday and into Saturday. So it's not a crazy busy week of weather, but there will be a couple different weather systems that impact us. So here's how those rain chances look. Honestly, the best chance I think is going to be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That chance on Thursday is just mainly for the morning. That's system one. Then system two is Friday night, really late Friday night, almost overnight into your Saturday. And then we dry things out. Overall, by the time we're said and done with the week, I think around 3/4 of an inch of rain, maybe just shy of an inch of rain, is possible right now. So keep checking back for updates on that, as we're still several days away from that second system Friday and Saturday. For today, mostly sunny, extra clouds this evening. We get up close to 70 degrees for that afternoon high. And then that rain chance cools us back down a bit to the low 60s for Wednesday. Upper 60s again by Thursday, 70s again by Friday. And then as we clear things out on Saturday, we're looking at a high of 68 Saturday, 68 again on Sunday, which, by the way, is the first day of spring.
Cue the thank goodness. Cue the finally.
It's a relief.
The smiles.
It's not that you're counting, right? You're not counting.
No, I mean, literally, yes, I am.
How many more hours?
By the minute. Looking forward to spring, looking forward to just, I don't know, a new feel, you know, like warmth.
Pollen.
Something that, oh yeah, there's that. Oh, you're always such a
Bear of bad news.
You know, he's just got that motivational kick that we need. Yay. Okay.
Where we give a little bit, we always get a little bit, right?
Right. Well, this is right up your alley then, because we're talking about the pain at the pump, and Christian loves pain, apparently.
Wow.
All right, so the pain at the pump has people kind of figuring out how to save cash on gas, especially. Maybe you're carpooling, maybe you're strategically planning some trips and using those reward cards. Those are just some of the options you're going to at this point.
That's right. You may have heard that charging an electric car is cheaper than filling up a gas tank.
Yeah, so would you ever purchase an electric car? Why or why not? So many people are already commenting on our feed, and we're going to get to those in just a little bit. But before we do, we want to share what our Verify team found out about electric cars. So they say, yes, this is true. Charging an electric car is actually cheaper than filling up a gas tank. It does cost about 17 cents to drive a mile in an average gas-powered vehicle. That's roughly 5 cents to drive in 1 mile in an electric vehicle. So that's a savings of about 12 cents. But is it really a savings when you factor in how much you have to charge it and how expensive the car is in the first place? That is the dilemma. So we asked you, would you buy an electric car? Matt from Greensboro wrote, lots of giggles when I bought this 2012 Leaf. Now I get lots of questions, no gas purchase for 3 years, and less than $2 to charge at home. Who's giggling now, he said. Nice looking car too. Another viewer said, no to electric cars, saying my Mustang is paid for and I'm paying on my Honda HR-V. Happy with that. I have love them both.
Someone else wrote, we own a Tesla. I love it. Looking at getting a second one. Okay. Michael says it's not just that simple. There is a lot more to it than filling or plugging. What do you all think?
I agree with him. There is a lot more than filling and plugging. You really do have to do your research before you make such a purchase. Not only is it the initial cost, but then what about, do you have to have a charger at home? My guess is yes. And how much does that cost?
Right.
And what is going to be my monthly expense? If I need a part, can I just go to O'Reilly's and get it? Or do I have to order it from somewhere? There's so many different factors that I would just not be ready to make that jump right now. I'm trying to make my life easier.
And I believe, Ed, I think it was you, Ed, who said, finding those different stations out there too, in case you may, maybe don't have that charger at home as well, can be tough.
Yeah, I love the technology, and I think it's great, but it's not to a point that I would feel comfortable in buying an electric car. And as I mentioned earlier on the Good Morning Show, it's just not easy to find a charging station. Also, I think the technology needs to get a little bit better, and the electric cars are just too darn expensive. So 3 strikes and it's out for me.
And you're just counting the strikes. All right, Christian, you're the only one of us who knows somebody who has an electric vehicle, so you added some great perspective.
So one of my good friends, who's actually the bass player in our band, has a Tesla. And when he bought it, I was like, wow, he must make really good money. He's buying Teslas. And, and actually kind of, I guess the stigma around it is that they're really, really expensive, like outrageously expensive cars. And they're really not. He told me what he paid for his. I think it was a year or two older, but it was actually very reasonably priced. Now, the one thing that I never really understood until I rode with him, we took a trip down to Kiowa Island, South Carolina, last year. And of course, as you know, if you get in the car and go somewhere, you can usually get to Kiowa Island on a tank of gas, if not less than that. But the way that he had to plan his route and plan the way that we went was all based on where those chargers were and how often he was going to have to charge his car. So, a 4-hour trip ended up taking us probably about 5 hours, because you had to stop one time for, I think, a 10-minute charge, then a second time for like a 30-minute charge, and then one more quick 10-minute charge just before we got there. But that was all based on, the amount of traveling we were doing. It was kind of calculating the speeds that you were going to be running and how much power it was going to use. And, like Ed said, we still don't have a huge surplus of these charging stations, or they're not everywhere. And the way that you charge a Tesla is, I think, different than the other ones. There are these things called Tesla superchargers that you're supposed to plug into. So a lot of actually having one of those now is based, going somewhere, you actually have to plan those routes out and where you're going to stop. So it seems like it's a lot to plan and a lot to figure out right now. And plus, I just bought a new one that's gas powered last year, so it's going to be a while before I buy anything else.
Yeah, and do you use, excuse me, do you use premium for your car?
No, it's just unleaded.
Okay, mine too. And lately I've looked in the manual to see, because Sheetz offers this blended kind of grade. Where, yeah, it's maybe 20 cents less.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I check my manual just to make sure.
To make right.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed that it gets not as good a gas mileage?
Definitely.
Okay, that's my experience with it too.
It does not get as much gas mileage, but however, it makes me feel good when it's all the way to the F on the dial.
A great feeling.
Yes, and then it also makes me feel good that I didn't spend as much as I would have if I had purchased the non-blend. Well, I guess they're all blended, but it's the variation of blends.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's read what people are saying here on the feed. If you find some comments, Sydney, I'll find some comments, and then we'll kind of go through that. Jessica Richard said, personally, I don't care about gas prices right now. I'm still sitting with my car on every day in the pickup line for an hour every day. She has kids, so yeah, I'm in the same boat. She says, do not plan to change that. I know it's not like that for everyone right now. And yeah, I've been turning my car off when I'm in the carpool lane until like the kids actually come out, just because otherwise you're sitting there for 30 to 40 or longer moments waiting for kids, and that's like a lot of gas that you're burning. So I will turn it off, and I've noticed a lot of people turn it off. Hybrids too, they kind of do that automatic shut off, and then they shut. Oh, that's like, I would love that.
I see Clorinda says what takes me 10 hours to get to my parents in Indiana would take 18 in an electric. Not practical for me with family distance. Wow, that's a significant increase.
Yeah, absolutely, because you have to plan for stops.
Exactly.
And charge it an hour each time. So it's not even about the distance, it's about what you have to do to get there. Let's see. There were some really good comments earlier.
Did you read Casey?
From Casey Turner, yeah. Go ahead if you found it.
Yeah, she said it will always be cheaper to drive gas. Electric cars still need fossil fuels to make.
Oh yeah, and then Walter was just above that saying we have a 2017 Kia Optima hybrid and we get almost 700 miles to a tank. Whereas I get like what, maybe 380?
I think I get like 350,
and
380.
You get 350?
Like yeah.
Carl says he read a story about a person that had $27,000 in repairs for his electric car, which is crazy.
Yeah. Clorinda said, best decision I made was in 2004, not long after that post 9/11 war started, was purchasing the original Gen 1 Honda Insight. It's a hybrid, still have it. Got 70.9 mpg on an 88.3 mile drive recently. Electric technology not perfect yet, but loves the hybrid. I think that is something to consider.
Right.
Hybrids.
And Robin says, looking now to purchase an SUV, used vehicles are just as high as new ones.
LeVar said, I would love to use an electric car for my work week to save on gas, then drive my regular car on the weekends.
That's a good thought too.
Yeah. And then Wayne said, did you read Wayne? I'm sorry.
I did not read Wayne.
We bought a 2020 Chevy Bolt at the end of 2019, just in time to get a tax break. That's so smart. After having it for over 2 years, I can say we will never go back to gas again. Sure, there are some adjustments to make, but with 258 mile range, it's plenty for us. Plus, there are more and more changing stations being installed charging stations. I'm thinking about babies because I have
you could change them.
I have to go change my baby. I'm like, changing stations, which are also hard to find. Charging stations being installed every day.
You know, I'll say the other thing, some folks are talking about research and about really what all it takes and what the longevity of maybe cars like a Tesla may be. But those batteries that are, your main power source are very expensive to replace still. My buddy's battery in his Tesla went out and it took him forever and a nice big chunk of change to fix that. So, there's going to be cost involved with both of them. I don't know if we really know the long-term cost of a fully electric vehicle yet, but we are learning, in time. We're going to be learning a lot more over the next couple of years too, as many automakers, are switching over to electric cars.
Yeah. Something that Ed Matthews said to me the other day reminds me of this comment from R. Brian saying, buy a scooter.
Yeah.
Will be great with warm weather.
Yeah.
And I thought about you, Ed, because you said, I'm going to have to start riding my bike to work.
Yeah, and I'm really going to use that bike because within a 3 mile radius of where I live downtown, I do most of my shopping in that radius. Now, it would be difficult to, go to the supermarket or something like that, but to go get a haircut. The other day, I talked about walking to the post office on Morrow Boulevard. It took me about 30 minutes. It was great exercise. It was a beautiful day. And I'm thinking more and more about ways I can leave my vehicle in the parking space at my condo.
So I wonder if you have a condo and you have a parking space like that, where would you set up a charging station? I guess that would also be a question for you.
That's a good question. We have not crossed that bridge where I live so far. I don't know of anybody that has maybe some hybrids around, but a pure electric car. And being on the HOA board, I'll keep you posted whenever somebody brings up that topic. It's like, okay, we've got to put in some charging stations. It'll come down the road. Everywhere is eventually going to have to get these charging stations.
And what if you're at work for 8 hours and you forgot to charge it, and then you're stuck there because there's no charging station? I mean, I can think of all the impossible reasons.
Yeah, really. And they're all valid situations that you could find yourself in.
Sure.
All right, I took on a little bit of Christian spirit there. But you know what? You make valid points, Christian. You do. And I love the way that you are full circle. It's not just the good. You have to bring up some of the things that you have to consider. So
I like to be a very positive person, but I like to be a realist too.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we need that because I'm all rainbows.
There you go.
And butterflies.
Which is a good thing too.
I'm like, what's that other half?
Glass half full.
Exactly. It's good to know the other side.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some of your morning headlines here. Great first conversation. And we have some news about racing legend Richard Childress. He's expanding his racing empire with a professional bull riding team in a new league. The Carolina Chaos bull riding team will be based in Winston-Salem, and they'll compete in the new PBR Team Series, which starts this summer. While Childress will own the team, another racing name will run it. NASCAR driver Austin Dillon. His grandson will serve as the general manager. The team will talk about what's to come in this new bull riding venture this morning at 11:30. A fire at a popular triad wedding venue is forcing 2 brides to change up their plans. Investigators say a fire caused significant damage at the Bella Colina mansion in Stokes County Sunday night. Both brides were set to get married at the venue over the weekend, but they don't know if that will happen now. The venue's owner says they are cleaning and assessing the damage. The owner did offer an alternative location just in case.
A Triad Church is giving away food and other items to anyone who needs them. You can grab free food and clothing at New Zion Missionary Baptist Church. The event runs from noon until 2 p.m. You can find the giveaway at Martin Luther King Drive in Greensboro. Food security and health care, just 3 of the basic necessities that Ukrainian refugees are in need of after an ongoing war caused them to leave their homes. Most of them fled to Moldova. And the University of North Carolina, Greensboro has partnered with nurses in the state as they provide medical care to refugees. WFMY News 2's Itanise McMiller is on campus with how the university's nursing school is assisting.
Well, technology is how the University's School of Nursing staff is sharing knowledge with nurses in Moldova. We're told that some of their healthcare workers don't know how to care for the growing number of refugees entering their country. More than 500 nurses and Moldova leaders logged onto this webinar put on by UNCG faculty, all of them seeking knowledge on how to care for the more than 250,000 refugees that have come to their country in just 2 weeks. Moldovan nurses on the Zoom call talked about how scary and horrible conditions are, sharing how they've never worked with amputations and other injuries refugees sustained from the brutal war. Audrey Snyder with UNCG School of Nursing stepped in and shared this slideshow of information to help.
To focus on public health concerns associated with refugee populations and how to manage nursing care in refugee camps. Most common disease processes that historically have been a challenge in refugee camps. What are the signs and symptoms and how are they treated? So that ahead of time they have this knowledge that they can then put to use and use.
And Snyder tells me there are leaders in Moldova who have refugees living in their homes because their camps and churches are overflowing. And UNCG faculty plan to hold 5 more webinar sessions to continue to educate nurses on how to care for refugees. And outside of sharing information, they're also working to send some medical supplies and other equipment that they may need.
Oh, guys, spring is this week. Yes, finally, yes,
I'm so excited.
Just throw them out. We're just ready for spring. Well, for some people, the start of a new season also means a fresh start at home. One way to do that is to clean up the mess.
Yep.
around the house that's taken a back seat to your busy schedule.
Well, we want to know, have you started spring cleaning yet? While you type your answers, we want to tell you about this study conducted by one poll survey. It found more than 3 in 4 Americans say home tidiness and personal well-being go hand in hand. And with spring cleaning season on deck, respondents said they need about 16 days on average to tackle the task. Cleaning the bathroom was the top priority, followed by the fridge and getting the garage in order. So that brings us back to our question. Christian, have you started spring cleaning yet? Put you on the spot.
I haven't really done any spring cleaning yet. I try to keep up with things the best I can. Of course, as we go into spring, it's kind of one of those things to maybe reset some of the decor, kind of get rid of all the wintry looking stuff and just kind of rearrange a little bit. Maybe not so much cleaning, but rearranging.
I feel like you probably don't need to spring clean a lot, Christian, because you're just a clean, tidy type of person.
Oh, I'm OCD as it gets. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I was trying to be
I'll just
nice.
tell you, I'm about as OCD as it gets.
Wait a minute.
Oh, there's another one.
And Christian and I talk about our OCD all the time because we are very much alike in that area.
Yeah.
Smudges, dirt, dust, any of it. I hate it.
Right. So spring cleaning is just another day for you.
Another day.
Right. Whereas, like, I was talking to Sydney the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had some clothes on the couch and my husband just comes in and he picks them up and he's just like tired of seeing the clothes on the couch, so he puts them in our closet. And I'm like, what did you do that for? Why are you cleaning up my mess? Like, I had it here for a reason. So what? It's been 3-4 days, So yeah, he's also on that same track as you and Ed, Christian, but I'm more fluent with my placement of items.
There you go.
Yes, and the one thing I do have to have a clean kitchen and clean bathrooms. My actual bedroom, even the kids' space. I'm just like another day. But like my kitchen before I go to bed, and the bathrooms, they just always have to be tidy because you never know who's going to come by.
Yeah.
Bathroom, kitchen, and vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not so much that third one.
One thing for me, whenever I'm going on vacation or going out, or basically vacation for a couple days, I have to make sure that it is beyond spotless because it just feels so good to come back after a long vacation and it's clean. You know, you don't have to. That's one less thing you have to worry about, which is great.
Right.
Oh boy, let me tell you something. I've ridden in Christian's vehicle once. Okay. It is spotless. Okay?
Wow.
It is spotless. Now there's enough dirt that's accumulated in the floorboard of my vehicle, you could grow flowers there, okay? But his vehicle is very, very clean, and I was very careful. Make sure not to have any sand or any dirt on my shoes when I got in. But I respect that. I mean, Christian, I think you haven't had that vehicle for a long period of time, and I was the same way when I had a new vehicle, but it didn't last very long,
Ed got in after lunch one day. It's like, can I have this sweet tea in here? I was like, I don't know. You better not spill it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God! If I spilled that tea, I would be so majorly in
done
trouble.
with it.
Ed would still be out back shampooing
At least
the
he
carpet.
asked you.
There you go.
I would have just gotten in and like. But yeah, you would not last a minute in my car. I mean, there's gummy bears, Cheerios. I mean, you name it. It's in the car.
It's in there.
Look,
Tracy,
here's
can
a
you pull over and
cheeseburger
call
under
Uber?
the seat. Wow, a snack.
Christian, I heard you.
I heard him too. He thinks he's slick. It's cool. Yeah, those gas prices and that Uber charge. Yeah, you'll be back. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
No, but
Right.
seriously,
Hello.
the mess is in the back seat because I just can't. I can't. But the front is definitely tidy and.
Yeah, and I can't really explain why I am kind of OCD in the way I am in terms of keeping my house clean, things are in order. I have said on the Good Morning Show before, I would never ever leave my condo without making up the bed. It would completely ruin my day. So, you know, the answer to the spring cleaning, I do it every other week. I really get into cleaning each room. And, you know, I'm just that way. I'm kind of a clean-natured guy, and everything has to be in order. And that's the same thing here at the TV station. At my desk, things have to be in order. And if something is out of order, it gets moved to its proper place very quickly. It's weird.
No, it's not weird. It's actually a goal of mine.
Yeah, I
Be
think
a little
that's
bit more
great, Ed.
tidy. So I'm fascinated that this is how you are every day.
Well, some folks are talking about it here in our comments section. Jessica says, I started yesterday. This weekend is my youngest daughter's 3rd birthday, so we have to get ready for that. Her birthdays have fell during COVID, so this will be the first year we can actually have a birthday.
Nice.
Curtis says, at least the weather is good enough for spring cleaning.
Right.
It was snowing at least twice a week. I agree. It makes the difference. And speaking of that, like opening up your blinds when you're cleaning and letting that sunlight come in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so refreshing.
Or opening the window.
Ooh.
If the pollen isn't too bad.
That too.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
I've said that before.
It's a vibe.
I could say it again. So we also heard from Jessica Richards. She's a mom, so she gets this. She said, the car is different with kids. I'm 99% sure there is chicken nuggets in my floorboard as we speak.
Too funny.
Winning at life, I'm telling you.
Just an afternoon snack for later.
A snack for later? Well, no, we don't let them eat it. They just drop it and we carry on. Debbie Isley says, I clean daily at home, always something to clean. LeVar said he cleans every day. Spring cleaning is every day for both him and you, Christian, and every other week for Ed. Dana says, yeah, she loves to come back to a clean apartment after she travels.
Yes.
And I totally get that. And fresh sheets on the bed. Joanne uses Mary Maid. She said they do a deep clean once a month on 2 different rooms, clean my 3 baths thoroughly every time. I might have to do that because right now I am the Mary Maid.
And Ed,
And am I very Mary?
you're being a great mom, Tracy, okay?
Thank
and
you.
Ed, there's some people that agree with you, I believe, when you talked about your desk and making sure that that's clean. Joanne says, I'm with you. And then Lloyd says he's with you as well. But he says the bed has to be made no matter what. I'll be late for anything to make up my bed. My mother did not play that, okay? All right.
Thumbs up from Ed Matthews. Yeah. And you know what? I don't have to make the bed anymore because I get out first. So I haven't. Yeah, it's been a minute.
All right.
Yeah, unless it's like a weekend or something.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't
I mean,
get into
you can't just make up half side.
scrunched up bed.
Yeah,
I like the
'cause it's
sheets tight, you know, fresh and.
I hear you. My kids are learning how to do that too. They get out of the bed, they use the restroom, and then they go in and make up their bed immediately. And
Good lesson.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would too
It
if
is.
I had to.
With what Lloyd said about his mother saying that she didn't play that. My mom either. Like growing up, we couldn't go to friends' house. We couldn't even when we had company over and they weren't even gonna be upstairs in the room, that room had to be clean. And we'd be like, they're not even gonna be up there. Clean it. She did not play either.
Make up your bed.
Yep.
It's one of the first lessons of responsibility.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure, if we leave it to Christian, he'll design sheets
Ooh.
for the bed to make sure
A
that they're
self-folding
perfect.
bed.
Make sure it's perfectly straight. Christian, I'm having so much fun. Like,
No wrinkle sheets.
no wrinkle sheets. Exactly.
Oh,
What are you
Christian.
going to say? You're having fun making fun of me? Is that
No,
what you're
not
gonna
making fun of you. I'm having fun with you.
There you go.
today. No,
It's
no,
all
no.
love, Christian.
Yes, no, I'm having fun with you. All right, and so is everybody here on the feed. It's just kind of funny. Everybody has different, cleaning habits. Some of us are very loose and relaxed. Other us are not.
I will say, just to reiterate this fact, I did let Ed bring his sweet tea in
Okay,
my
good.
truck that day.
Yeah, and I
I'm
felt
not
so
crazy.
privileged.
I'm not crazy, but if I wouldn't care if he spilled a little drop. I'll clean it up later, but I'm going to clean it up when I get back, right? I'm not going to leave it. It's not going to get there and get sticky and say that. I'm going to clean it up. I'm not going to say anything to him about it, but I'm going to go clean it when I get back.
If I spilled anything in his vehicle, you would see me get out of the vehicle and run away as fast as I could. And I tell you what, Christian, you've got a beautiful vehicle. It's nice and clean, and I love it.
Hilarious. I wonder what they really say about each other.
Darn Ed Matthews left a crumb in my console.
Right. Like, all right. Well, we're all friends here, at least on the screen.
There you go.
Let's go ahead and close out with another look at our spring-like forecast.
Oh, yes, indeed. A beautiful morning in the Piedmont. We've got sunshine, and we're going to see a good bit of sunshine today. You'll start to notice some clouds build in the afternoon out ahead of our next rain system. We're on our way. I think we get pretty close to 70 today. Now, the clouds really thicken up tonight. It should remain dry overnight as we drop into the mid-40s. There could be an isolated shower on Wednesday, but the more measurable rainfall comes our way Wednesday afternoon and overnight Wednesday night into early Thursday. And we could rack up maybe a quarter. A few spots get upwards of a half of an inch of rain. 62 on Wednesday, 67 with the sun coming out on Thursday afternoon, St. Patty's Day, and then Friday, a beautiful day, sun and clouds and lower 70s. A cold front will move through early Saturday, so late Friday night, early on Saturday, there could be an isolated shower, but not much in the way of rain with that cold front coming through, and it really doesn't get cold behind it. I like the idea of upper 60s, both on Saturday and the first day of spring on Sunday.
And may we not see another 50-degree day until we're supposed to in
Thank
winter.
you, Tracy. Yes, name it and claim it, okay?
Yeah.
I make
We
no
shall
promises.
Yes. 60s and 70s, and then we'll talk about the 80s and 90s when we get to it. But I'm not in a rush for that either. Just keep it right here.
Yep.
We'll see how long it lasts. All right, thanks so much for all the great conversations. Had so much fun. We'll do it again tomorrow, right here on After GMS. Take care.
Yeah.